What's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. Bang Olufsen made some massive improvements to the Beosound A1 if you're asking me. It's Beosound A1 and it has a better tassel even. Welcome back to the channel everybody. Bang Olufsen has made a new Beosound A1 versus the old Beoplay A1. I'll put up some comparison videos about the audio later, but they did it again. My god. But first, I know average viewers of the podcast will hate the non-peel, so let's go with the peel first. As you can see, it's wrapped in plastic. And that'll be so satisfying for most. And it's gone. I mean, if we start at the back end, there's very few differences really. And even if you look at the front, there's very few differences. However, one thing I do sort of get annoyed with a bit on my Beosound A1. Sorry, Beoplay A1, this is getting annoying, the name differences, is that you can't really see the buttons on the side. So you see, or don't see those, but these are very legible. Don't know if it focuses, but we'll see later. The buttons have also gotten a lot clickier, and they're easier to find because the print on them is just a lot better. Also, if you turn this one on, the button is very rubbery. The status light there is on the side versus this one is on the top. So it actually is a nicer look in my opinion. It's maybe more intrusive if you can say that about one LED, but I kind of like it because usually it lays flat like that, and depending on how you have it orientated, you can't see if it's on or off. So I like that improvement. Secondly, you come to the tassel, which is now in this one a different color, and you go to the sort of slidey bit, which has now a full Bang Olufsen text on it. Versus the old one where it's sort of a quarter, if you will. I personally think this looks better on the new one. Even if it were black, it's not just the color contrast that I like a lot more. And they're general improvements overall. Battery life is longer. At 70 dB it's like 18 hours. At 50 dB it's 48 hours now. So dear lord, 48 hours straight, so you can have it playing at 50 dB for 2 days. I've been playing around with it, and I must say the battery barely drains if you're using it, even at nice volumes really. I mean, it lasts a long time. So does this one. I never had any complaints about the original Mark 1, but I'm amazed at what they've been able to improve with this one. I don't know off the top of my head how water resistant this one is, the Mark 1, but it can deal with some water and some dust and whatnot, and it's alright. This one is almost hermetically sealed, yet the sound comes out at no problem. It's IP67 off the top of my head. That means you can put it in a meter of water for half an hour and it's fine. So if you have a hook in your shower or whatever and it hangs like head height, you can leave it there forever and it'll be fine, which is kind of amazing for what it is. And then you come to an actual sound difference. Dear lord, did I not think this could be improved much. Yes, it's kind of bassy. Yes, you can change that in the app if you want. But if you compare optimum settings versus optimum settings in the app, this thing sounds a lot better. And I didn't think it could. Like, this is a bit boomy on the bass. This still has the bass, but it has so much more clarity in the mid-range and top end. voices, and especially female voices, are so much more natural. This almost sort of injects a bit of bass where it shouldn't be, whereas the new one is a lot tighter. It can still sort of make itself jump a bit, but I mean, you have to crank it and be listening to something that basically only has bass, which you can, and it'll play that just perfectly fine. Although on this one it's less than here. I don't know exactly what they did to the tuning, but it's all around a better speaker. What really kind of makes me think of, or what I think of when I listen to this one, is a Beosound 1. Not in sheer volume, but in sort of the way the music comes out of it. It's the sort of open tweeter clarity you have on a Beosound 1. And for such a small portable product with Bluetooth, that's amazing. I mean, also the Bluetooth standards have gotten a lot better. It now has aptX and Bluetooth 5.1, I think, whereas this is 4 something. Personally, I don't really notice the difference, other than that supposedly the new Bluetooth sounds better if you have a supported format and or a phone or any device that you connect to it that supports it, and it supposedly uses less battery. I've tried the range on both of these, and I can leave it here in the living room and walk to the other side of my apartment, and it keeps on playing, which is like over 10 meters that way, and even with walls in between, it's basically fine. Only if there's like more than 2 walls in between, it sort of flakes sometimes a bit. But both do that. So would you expect that from a Bluetooth speaker? I wouldn't. So, I mean, but in a straight line aside, 10 meters easily, if not more. The thing is, this one has Alexa. Fortunately, I don't care about those things, and it's optional. As in, when you go through the setup, it'll ask for Alexa, because in my case, when you go through the B&O setup app, it'll say, we see that this device uses something you don't have the app for. You go to the App Store, and then from there on in, if you decline it, the setup just continues. So you can use this with Alexa, and it'll tether to your phone, and it'll use the data off your phone. And so you can go, hey, well, and it'll answer back to you. The voice clarity is very good, both ways really. You can use this for conference calls. You can use this as literally like you use your AirPods. And you can leave your phone over there somewhere on the table, and if you take a call on this, if it's connected, you can just take this with or outside or whatever. And, or in the kitchen, for instance, and your phone won't get dirty. This may or may not, but you can just use it to call people. It's actually, I really like it. The only thing I think a bit strange with Alexa is that B&O's in usually the Google sphere, or it has been for the past year. So Alexa, I don't know what it's about, but it's optional. You can't, however, put Google in it, so yeah. Does it matter? Not to me. I would really, though, recommend people having a thorough look at this new one, because if you don't like the Alexa thing, don't use it. If you love Alexa, use it. If you like the Google thing, this one doesn't do Google either, so nothing gained, nothing lost. But in sheer terms of sound, I never thought this thing was bad, ever. I always think this was like sort of the mini Value King for money. But on long-term listening sessions, I used it for about 2 hours straight last night. And I automatically switched to the new one. Not because it like literally looks prettier or anything, but it's more, you can listen to it longer without getting fatigued. This is sort of, it sounds comparatively, very comparatively, this the Mark 1 beats just about any other of the portable other brand speakers. But compared to the new one, this is like sort of thumpy and muffled and a bit dull, which is something I never thought about it until I heard the new one. I mean, the improvements are actually incredible for the price point, for the small, tiny compactness. I mean, it's slightly thinner even. I mean, the weight feels about the same. I think this might be slightly lighter, but you don't really notice that in daily driving. But the sound, dear Lord. Like, even my cats approved of it. Like, they never cared for this one when it was playing. They sort of just ignored it and walked around it. I was playing some Michael Jackson tunes on this yesterday, and my cats were all about it, which is kind of weird. But generally, my cats either love B&O products or don't care. They never hate it, but this is cat approved. I also very much approve of it. I never knew, the stunning thing to me is I never knew there was this much of an upgrade path in this. Like, you understand it from maybe bigger speakers, from let's say the Beoplay 50s behind me to the Beoplay 5s, the older ones. But in something as small as this, to have this much gain, that's mightily impressive. And I kind of want to change them now. I kind of want a new one. Anyway, that was my review of it. I'll have more videos of the sound comparison up on my channel soon. But first, I have to film something else today, which is the install. If you saw on my Instagram page of something a lot bigger for in the bedroom, that'll be fun. I'll put that up on YouTube. And then we also have the new E8s to do a review about that. As you can see, they're not yet peeled yet, so we'll get to that. Hope you all liked the video. Like and subscribe. Go to your dealers, support your dealers. Big thanks to Bang Olufsen Ter Horst here in Utrecht for making this possible and giving me a review unit. I really like this thing. I hope you guys do too, and that you can visit a dealer, although the times are a bit weird, but soon enough you will be. Here in Holland, I think most dealers are open, so pop over and have a listen. I think you'll be amazed. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. That'll be out soon. Bye.